Thank you for talking with me today. I would like to find out more about public relations and in particular internal communications. I have a few questions for you.
It's my pleasure. What would you like to ask me? I have taken the opportunity to also get some input from some of my colleagues to provide more information for you, one that works with the RCMP and another that is a member of Toastmasters International.
How important is it for an organization to be able to hear and respond to the concerns and questions of its members?
I would say of the utmost importance. For example, in Toastmasters we need to know from the membership what about Toastmasters International is working, what needs adjusting and what we can improve on.
What are the characteristics, aptitudes and skill sets that will help public relations practitioners succeed in internal communications?
Public relations practitioners who want to succeed in the area of internal communications need to be proficient at verbal and written communications, relationship building, influencing, proactiveness, attention to detail, work ethic, social networking tools and the internet in general. You would need a positive attitude and the ability to communicate clearly and concisely, both written and speaking. I also feel one should be coachable, open to new ideas, and be willing to try different means of communication whenever possible.
I have heard that internal communications requires one to be organizational experts. Can you expand on that?
Yes, you definitely need to understand how the organization works. As well, you need knowledge of organizational structures and corporate functions, leadership and broad management, objectives and challenges of organization including employee issues and needs, current research practices, Canadian society, strategy setting, change management, generational differences.
How does your organization measure how well it communicates messages between management and employees?
The RCMP currently uses the Balanced Scorecard in support of its strategy management approach. The RCMP establishes objectives and measures for internal communications as part of the organizational strategy. These are then cascaded down to divisional scorecards as well as driven horizontally onto scorecard for each of the 5 strategic priorities of the RCMP. Activities in support of advancing the internal communications objectives are identified and implemented across the organization at all levels. A comprehensive employee opinion survey is issued every 2 years. The results from this survey provide some measures which are used to assess the effectiveness of internal communications in the RCMP.
What about employee satisfaction? How does it measure employee satisfaction/engagement?
An employee opinion survey is one of the key tools used to measure employee satisfaction/engagement. Some of the questions used in the survey include: there are clear goals and objectives for my job. I know exactly what is expected of me. I get adequate recognition from my immediate supervisor when I do a good job. My manager does a good job communicating with his or her employees. I am consulted appropriately on decisions and actions that have an impact on my work. My job makes good use of my knowledge, skills and abilities. I am proud to be an employee of the RCMP. I am familiar with the 5 strategic priorities of the RCMP. I understand how my work contributes to the RCMP's strategy and success. For the RCMP, more and more our internal communications program is focusing on driving high performance in the organization by supporting employee engagement, employee satisfaction, recruitment and retention, effective change and pride in the RCMP. We are developing tools to assist our manager in being strong communicators.
What methods does your organization use to communicate with employees?
For Toastmasters, mostly business email is used. Conference calls and the occasional webinar has also been occasionally used. As for advertising upcoming events, we use a combination of email, social media, that is, Facebook, Twitter, the district website and various division websites. I have found that social media is becoming more prominent as a means of communication, since an overwhelming majority of members in our district use the internet and various social media applications. I've found that the best policy is for management to maintain an open door policy, allowing employees access to management virtually any time to discuss their concerns. As well, email for day-to-day business activities and information that needs to be disseminated quickly. Major events impacting the company are discussed at town hall meetings, which are held on an as-needed basis.
I know that the RCMP faces an enormous challenge with respect to internal communications, as it has over 31,000 employees, with approximately 200 police officers deployed to missions in 10 countries, over 75,000 volunteers, 14 divisions and 800 service points across Canada and abroad. 268 isolated posts in remote areas, so they have to use a wide variety of methods for communication. What are some of the methods used to communicate with them?
Some of these methods include face-to-face meetings, town halls, video conferencing, committees, priority working groups, electronic and multimedia, email, internal website, internal broadcasts, communication toolkits, wiki, blogs, videos, briefing notes, national and divisional magazines, newsletters, posters, and brochures.
How well is each method received by both management and the employees?
The actions of management are especially significant because subordinates place more confidence in what managers do than what they say. Unless actions are consistent with communicators, a feeling of distrust will undermine the effectiveness of any future social change. Depending on the nature of the messages being communicated, employees' preferences as to how they want to receive information are slightly different. Generally, employees respond best when they receive urgent information that may impact their job from their immediate supervisor. Employees prefer to receive nice-to-know information on the internal website and through the national magazine. Briefing notes are also an effective communications tool that is used to brief up the chain of command on urgent operational issues. There is no magic bullet for effectively reaching all employees. We continue to work on creative solutions that will improve organizational communications.
That is quite a lot to absorb, but from what you have shared with me, it seems that internal communications is a vital part of any organization. Thank you very much for talking with me today.